Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video on Supergirl. Today we're going to be talking about the new documentary that has come out. Melissa Benoist is starring in it along with a bunch of other people that have played and have been linked to Supergirl before. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DC videos later this year. So we talked about this documentary. It's titled Supergirl, the Last Daughter of Krypton. This is a documentary that's now available on Max. You can go ahead and watch it if you have access to Max. And basically we talked about this the other day because Sterling Gates, one of the writers on the Supergirl TV show, actually said and confirmed, and I think he was the first person to come out to talk about it, that he took part in this new Supergirl documentary that hadn't been announced yet. But literally right after that was announced, like in the next couple of days, it was properly announced online that Supergirl, the Last Daughter of Krypton would be available on Max. And it's been a documentary that they've been working on for a while now, and they have Melissa Benoist in it, they have Helen Slater, obviously the original kind of live action Supergirl, and you have the new Supergirl, Sasha Calle, and also all the other people that have been kind of involved with Supergirl, whether it be writers on TV shows or anyone else. They've got them involved in this. So go ahead and watch Supergirl, Last Daughter of Krypton. The documentary is out now on Max. And so we're going to talk about Melissa's segments today and what she had to say about Supergirl, because I think you guys are going to be really interested as to what she actually had to say. So I'm going to leave the link in the description below if you want to just watch Melissa's parts. If not, go ahead and watch the whole thing on Max because you'll see it all in context, which obviously is much better. But yeah, there is the option there. So she starts by saying Supergirl gets her powers from the yellow sun, but she felt like she is the actual embodiment of the sunshine, and that's what originally kind of drew Melissa to the role. She says, you know, this basically was a drawing point, like the whole idea of her being a female superhero and basically being a role model for, you know, kids out there who obviously maybe like comic books and they see Iron Man, they see Captain America, they see Batman, they see Superman, but then you get Supergirl, and wouldn't it be great to be one of the first leading superheroes who is a female lead since Linda Carter? And she actually goes on to talk about that. So I like that she talks about, you know, Supergirl being this embodiment of sunshine, and, you know, she is someone to be looked up to, and she's kind of like a normal person at the same time. And I like the way that they actually ended the show, because they just proved like you can be a normal person, but you can also be a superhero, and you don't have to pretend who you are. And so she goes on to say, I don't think at the time the significance landed on me that we were the first female-driven superhero show on network television since Linda Carter played Wonder Woman. And that was a long time ago, guys. That's not like 10 years before or something. So probably because of the weight of that was overwhelming, she didn't realize how big of a significance the role would actually have. Obviously, Melissa realized that as she was shooting it, and, you know, she attended events, saw fans, and saw how much Supergirl actually meant to people, you know, especially little girls, obviously, but as well as that, just everyone in general, seeing a different style of superhero and seeing how good the show actually turned out to be, obviously was a big part to play. And so I like her saying that she didn't really understand the weight of what she was going to sign up to, because like I feel as an actor, when you go into a new project, it's like, yay, I'm going to be working, you know, this could be a kind of long project if this is a network television show, and oh, superheroes, everyone loves superheroes right now, that's cool. But I agree, like I don't think if you, like one of you guys, were to star right now in a new project, you would not realize how big of significance it would be, because you can never know how a show is going to be responded to. Like it could have been a total flop. Like if it's a flop, no one's going to respond to it, and obviously you don't really have much significance, and so it's not going to be overwhelming. But obviously in the case of Supergirl, it turned out to be very significant. You know, they even went on to make a Supergirl who appeared in the Flash film, played by Sasha Calle, influenced by Melissa's Supergirl. So let's move on to the next point. She says, I think what defines Supergirl is all in her credo. Superman has truth, justice, and the American way, and Supergirl has hope, help, and compassion for all, which is Supergirl's motto. And that's something that stuck with me and is probably still with her to the day. Obviously, Superman is a bit different from Supergirl and vice versa. They've, got their own different ways of working, and hope, help, compassion for all is Supergirl's motto, as we all know from the TV show, and, that's just like something that has always stuck, especially with these heroes that are definitely looked up to. Like, they have to be role models, and that's why they can't kill, they can't be extra violent. They've got to stand up and, stick to what they actually represent. And she goes on to say, I did take a lot of directive from Christopher Reeve's Superman and the way that he played Clark Kent, and I can actually see that with the way, especially she plays Kara. It's very much so in that same vein, and I like that she actually acknowledges her influences. There's one thing that really annoys me with actors sometimes, and it's like when they say, oh, I wanted to go into this role and I didn't want to watch anything in the past if it's a character that had appeared, or there's similar characters out there. And I always hate that. So it's very pleasing to hear that Melissa's actually acknowledging her influences. And for instance, it was great to hear Sasha Calle come out when she was cast as Supergirl, stating that she was influenced by Melissa's Supergirl. She watched the show, she loved the show, and obviously she's going to make it her own. But it's an influence, like she watched it, and I don't think there's any harm in watching other content before you go into a role. And so I like that they come out and actually talk about this. So she goes on to say, part of the journey of Supergirl, the one that she played on the TV show, was really finding herself. And I'm really happy with the way we closed the chapter on my Supergirl, that she found a way to be peaceful and content with both sides of her life. We talked about this briefly earlier, but I completely agree. I loved the ending of the show. I thought it was fitting. Obviously, some people were annoyed that, they went for the identity reveal. Like, that's a pretty common thing in superhero television, superhero films and stuff. Like, it's happened many times. And so I actually thought it really worked for Supergirl because, as Melissa says, it basically showed that she found a way to be peaceful and content with both sides of her lives, and she could be, just one person rather than hiding one side of her identity and then also, being someone else at the same time. So the last bit she says is, she is the one who will always make people believe that they can, and she has the strength to show the world that they're capable of that strength within themselves, and that hope, love, and compassion are all the things that will save the world. Obviously, that's, Melissa's viewpoint, and that's the viewpoint of Supergirl. Obviously, hope, love, and compassion are very, very important in our worlds, but as we all know, it takes a little bit more than just that to save the world, especially with, the struggles that we have in modern society. But I like that she's got involved with this documentary. She's come back, she's talked about Supergirl. Obviously, there is no hint towards her coming back. That's not the whole point of this documentary. The point is to reminisce on the past, to talk about Supergirl, to talk about the impact that the show and the character had on Melissa. Obviously, she's taken that with her, the hope, love, and compassion. Like, it's actually an important thing to take with you. And I really like what she talked about throughout this. Obviously, she's only in the documentary for just over a minute and under 2 minutes, so there wasn't too much that she actually got to go in, because I reckon they shot a lot more content with Melissa, probably did an interview for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and they just had to pick the best bits that would have fit into the documentary as a whole, because as I said, there is a lot of other people that are featured in the documentary, and it's not just about Melissa Supergirl. Obviously, I would love to get fully into just Melissa Supergirl, because I think she is the best iteration of Supergirl, and it's very important, the role, and the role that she had in the Arrowverse was really significant, along with the Flash, with Arrow and everything else. Supergirl was one of the leaders of the Arrowverse, and now that the Arrowverse is basically moving on and we've only got Superman and Lois left, it's nice to hear them come out and actually talk about stuff like this. So I would like to see Grant join some sort of Flash documentary. This was actually paired with the Flash coming out and, pairing it to the new Supergirl. That was kind of the main reason that they made this. I have a feeling that they wanted to release this around the time of the Flash film, but maybe it just took too long to get everyone together to put the actual project together. So it's coming out now. Yes, it's a bit random, but I'm really looking forward to the future of Supergirl, and I always like to look back into the past. So shout out to Melissa for joining this documentary. You guys can watch Supergirl, The Last Daughter of Krypton on Max right now. It's available. You can see Melissa, you can see Sasha Calle, you can see Helen Slater and more talk about the impact and legacy of Supergirl over on Max. So that pretty much does it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, big shout out to everyone that has been watching all the recent videos. Sorry for the lack of uploads. If you have any video ideas that you want me to break down and talk about in a video, please be sure to go over to my community tab right now. We've got a new post up where you can comment Q&A questions for an upcoming video. But for now, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Also, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video. But for now, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.